Before I start this video, I just want to mention that this is a sick rat with limited mobility being filmed, so if that's something that you don't exactly want to see, you might want to click off the video. I want to put a disclaimer in here that I am happy to give you advice about food and rats down below in the comments. However, I am not a vet, I am not an expert on this topic, so it is important to first and foremost bring a sick rat to the vet so that they can get treated for what they need. They usually typically always need antibiotics or something else for them to feel better, and home remedies do not always work. This video is specifically to give you more information about feeding rats with syringes. Now, before I start on how to syringe feed a sick rat, I want to show you what a healthy rat looks like. You can tell they're very different. They move around a lot. They're looking for the food adamantly. They're excited about the food. They can hold on to the syringe, they can hold on to the container, and they can eat at a fast pace. Now, Opal has always been a slower eater, but she has definitely slowed down now that she has limited mobility and she's very focused in what she eats. In terms of water and drinks, always starting with water is a good option for syringe feeding. You never want to force it down their mouth. With Opal, she's very good at communicating. Even though she can't move well, she opens her mouth to let me know that she's ready and wants to receive water. I always make sure that she's not bruxing, because bruxing is something that she's been doing a lot lately. And then I just give her a little bit at a time. I also give her an off-brand version of Pedialyte. It has electrolytes in it. It's made for children, and that just helps her keep those electrolytes in, keep her hydrated, and that's super important for her. When you have a sick rat, it can be very difficult to feed them, especially if they can't eat on their own. Opal is the first rat that we've had who really couldn't hold a piece of food anymore, and she needed entirely syringe feeding and syringe water. If you are a rat owner, you may be very familiar with feeding rats baby food, including meat baby food. While Opal is able to eat meat baby food, she does have a hard time licking it up off my finger, and it's kind of hard to syringe feed to her. So I tried a couple different options. Something that works really well for her are the squeeze fruit containers. So whether it's applesauce or it's banana, pumpkin, there's different types that you can have. Just make sure that the food is safe for rats. I just buy a generic brand version of it. They're about 99 cents. They're good for a day in the fridge overnight. And she actually has a pretty easy time eating because she can put her mouth right up to the opening and lick from there. I just put very gentle pressure on to make sure that she's getting some of the food, and then I watch the pacing and I watch for her mouth. Another thing that worked really well when I figured out she couldn't take pieces of egg is blending up one egg with water to create a very liquidy paste. It works great for her because she can swallow it, she can eat it, and there's protein in there, plus it hydrates her. I encourage you, if there's food that your rat particularly did like in the past or does like now, to try blending that with some water to make a paste, a very liquidy paste, so that they can drink it from a syringe. A piece of advice is to look for a sign that your rat wants to eat or drink. So since Opal cannot drink from a water bottle and she has limited mobility, she actually crawls over to the water bottle in the cage, and that's when I know that she's looking for water. Rats do drink a lot of water, about at least 5 mils a day, if not more than that. So I try to give her syringe water often, but sometimes she will go over into the cage and crawl to the water bottle, and that tells me that she wants something to drink. As far as food goes, when she first started out, she would pick up a piece of food, but she couldn't eat it, and that was a sign that she needed to be fed. Now I just have a schedule where I do feed her at least twice a day, and she eats quite a bit, which is good. Something important about rats is to always change what they're eating because they will get bored. Don't expect meat baby food to last them a whole week. They might get tired of it. You might have to try something else. Get different squeeze pack varieties, different flavors. Try blending different foods that they already like. I will say people do try putting oxbow in water and letting it soak up. I did not try this with Opal specifically because of her difficulty with little pieces of food, and I was hoping to avoid maybe the possibility of it being grainy or something like that that would make it very hard for her to eat. So I did not personally try that, but that is something that you can try. Although this is not a fun video to film, and if you're watching it because you do need advice, I'm really sorry that your rat is sick. It's very hard. But I'm hoping that this is helpful to you or to others, and it gives you some advice.